tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Hello, my friends. Hope you're having a good day. A little time on my hands. Usually I go live after I do therapy, but I have a meeting with a friend, so I'm doing it now. Got a gift from my friend Monty, the Monty Man. Monty Man. Huh. Okay. It did not quite do what I asked it to do, but that's okay. But look, Mom, I'm not a rewatch. Hi, Amber. But yeah, I'm going to check this out myself. All right. Couple of things they have on here that they talk about: putting the plug in the jug, 90 meetings in 90 days, where meetings are requirement to stay sober. Who really wrote Two Wives? Well, Bill wrote Two Wives. We already know that. He tried to hide it, though, didn't he? Nice try, Bill. We're smarter than you think. Got a new coffee cup. No. I had a bunch of these. Amber, you want one of these? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So I have 5 available. Because that one's mine. So when got my blood drawn, I got my pink tourniquet on. Yeah, I had to go get some stuff done for my pre-op. Good stuff. Right? So I asked ChatGPT to go give me some weird recovery facts. And they're horrible, but we're going to cover them anyway. All right, so let's get started. All right, here's some interesting and lesser known facts about addiction recovery you can use in lives or posts or scripts drawn from reputable recovery and health resources. I don't know about that. All right. Hey. It mostly seems to be from Mission Media. It's from SAMHSA, a bunch that, okay, so let's just, relapse is common and not a failure. All right. So relapse is a part of many recovery journey. In fact, the relapse rate for addiction is similar to other chronic illnesses like diabetes, hypertension. It often takes multiple times before long-term recovery is achieved. All right. Now that is put out by Michigan Medicine. Well, thank you, Michigan Medicine, but that is incorrect. It's incorrect. Yes. We're using the wrong words. Relapse is not a part of recovery. No. Relapse means I went out and I did not come back for years on end. Okay. That is not part of it. You gave it an attempt, maybe planting the seed. So maybe it is maybe a little part of it. But what they're really talking about here is slips. A slip means that you went out and you came right back. That's what we're actually talking about here. So when we don't use the right verbiage, and this is coming out from Michigan Medicine or whatever, see, we got to watch how we talk in this industry. Anyway, doesn't matter. Addiction isn't about willpower. We know that. people in recovery aren't weak. Addiction affects the brain circuits, genetics, and life experience. In fact, I mean, alcoholics are tough, but addicts, man, they are really fucking tough. They are really tough people, man. They are. And it isn't a matter of willpower. It is not. All right. The brain can recover in time. Even though addiction rewires the brain reward system, research shows that the brain can recover with sustained abstinence. All right. Treatment doesn't look the same for everyone. Shit. This is a weird fact. This is what I was going for. This is the last one we're gonna do. Then we're gonna get to the good stuff. So, there is no single path. See, and this comes from Michigan Medicine. Okay, who really just wants you to go to their treatment center. Clearly, there is no single path. Some people benefit from medicated assisted treatment. Nope. Others from therapy. Yes. Peer support groups. Yes. Or combinations of approaches. Recovery isn't one size fits all. I agree to that to a point. To a point. It has more to do with perception, but that's not what we're here for. Those are some weird facts that just, it did not turn out well. So I'm going to have to do, I was trying to do like I do the daily funnies kind of a thing. It just, I wanted more like obscure facts that we didn't know. So we'll work on that. All right. Welcome, Daily Trudge. My name is Dion, or as some people have started to call me, the Podfada. You may call me the Podfada. I may not answer. If we're out in the crowd and you yell Podfather, I may not know that you're yelling for me. If you're here, please say hello. You say, hello, Dion. How are you today, you tasty nugget? Woo! That scare you? I'm throwing stuff at the camera. Woo! Joy without permission. I didn't really come up with this topic. I actually asked ChatGPT to it, and I just told it I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good. What do you think we should do? Joy without permission? Pretty good, because usually it seems like we need to have something in order to it was missing the laughing sound. Yeah, actually I should have done that because they were laughable, Amber. What if they yell pod daddy? Yeah, I'm really not going to answer. And I'm really not going to, even if I know you're talking to me, I don't know how to answer that one. Oh, No, the Podfather, the great Podfather, right? Like, or the grand Podfather, the great Poobah, right? So in the beginning, I was a little suspicious of joy because I didn't really know what it was. I didn't understand it. I'm not saying that I didn't have joyful moments in my life, but those were obscured. They were phasey. They were phasey. I meant to say hazy and fading. That's what you got, phasing. Grandpappy Podfather. Grandpappy Pod. You young whippersnappers. You and your rock and roll music. All right. So a lot of us don't trust joy. All right. Has this happened to you in recovery where things are going well and you're waiting for the shoe to drop? You're like, this is going too well. Something bad has got to happen soon. Yeah. Huh. And that in and of itself can take us out of the joy we are currently feeling. All right. These are new. We don't know what to expect. And even when they're good feelings, they could feel scary. All right. What is it? Why do I feel at peace? How come everything's just okay? Well, this is suspicious. This isn't how I've been living my whole life. My tumultuous life. All right. So I didn't really fear pain, but I certainly did fear feeling good because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. Excitement, it was tough for me. Still kind of is. I've gotten a lot better at excitement lately. I've had a lot of exciting things happening in my life lately. Not huge, right? So it's like something needs to be required for joy. Not necessarily, all right? But I do know this. I really didn't find much joy in life when I was drinking. Although, and I'm not, not every time I drank was just horrible. There were a lot of great times. I'll remember many of them. Seemed like it was just one big fight with different girlfriends and fiancés and stuff. That's really all it seemed like. Right. So good feelings used to precede a fall. And that's why, because we have trained our brains a different way. This is where the alcoholic has the cart before the horse, that something bad needs to happen in order for joy to appear. Now I'll tell you what happened. Let me tell you, let me tell you the news. See, when you got into a fight with your significant other or something bad happened and you drank over it, what you were doing, because when it goes to for alcohol, and this happens in alcoholics, it does not happen in non-drinkers. Sure, we might get the dopamine, some serotonin, things like that. But for us, it goes to the reward center, which means we're telling our brain that this is the correct thing to do. Got to have the fight so we can have the joy, because the joy is the drinking. It gives you the release from care, boredom, worry. Is that see? And we trained ourselves to think that way. And life happened that way, but we did it on purpose. Now that we are not purposefully pulling the structures down around our heads, things are different. Bad things won't come in threes anymore. No. You want to know what happens when you say bad things come in three? You're going to create the third problem. If two things have happened, you're going to search for the third problem just to settle it in your head. Because your brain's like, where's this third problem? It's around somewhere. You told me it was, Dion. Right? So the big book has a quiet promise, right? Because recovery isn't just quitting drinking. No, that'd be sober. The literal translation of sobriety means the absence of alcohol. Sober. So when we get into recovery, what is recovery? Recovery is doing the work. It is the 12 steps. Maybe you go to a different place. Maybe it's the 6 tenets. Maybe it's, even Celebrate Recovery loosely uses the 12 steps. Okay, so does Wellbriety. Okay, I'm no longer going to promote smart recovery. They've decided to do some things, join with the government so that they can make some money. It's no good anymore. That is not peer led. That is government controlled now. So no, thank you. I won't do any government program. Not when it comes to recovery, anyway. It points towards a new freedom and a new happiness. So joy is not presented as a reward. What is it? It's a dividend. It's a byproduct of something else. Or, because that's usually what it is. So we can also use that pain is the touchstone of all change. All right. In the beginning, how true. But if you get to a point where you decide to change because of humility and character building, well, then you avoid the pain portion and you move on. See, it is not required. Pain is not required for change. What's required for it? A decision to do it and some action towards that decision. That is change. I'm working on a few changes right now. Wasn't because anybody said so or anything else. It's just because it's something I think I should do. Right? I woke up with a different attitude today. I feel different. Yeah. I decided to let a lot of things just be what they are now. No. I've done everything that I can really do. So if that information comes up and I got to take care of it, I'll do that. But I'm certainly not going to seek for anything. And most things I really don't care anymore. I've got better things to do. My days of advocating are coming to an end. And that's all right, because now I get to move forward into the next project. All right. So we think that joy must be earned. Well, I don't deserve joy. What have I ever done? There we are again. We alcoholics thinking we're the best of the best or the worst of the worst, when we're neither. All right. Well, I don't deserve joy. If you say that you don't deserve joy, you're not going to get it. All right. Today, I have a lot of joy going on. There's no particular reason. There doesn't need to be. It was just a decision I made this morning. All right. Something I've really been working on is waking up in the morning and doing more positive stuff instead of letting my brain run its mouth. Right. And what is it? Well, it's old guilt. It's self-punishment. We believe that we owe from the past or something. Now, in this sense, you don't know. You don't owe anybody nothing in this sense. When it comes to your recovery, yes, you do owe. It was freely given to you and you got to give it away. Right? That part is an owe. But to be happy, to have joy, no requirements. All right. I stayed sober, but I kept sentencing myself. I kept creating more things for me to feel bad about. And what are these? What does it come down to? What are these? Well, they're very bad habits. They're bad habits. So, self-will versus joy. And there it is. See, the more I try and control, the less joy I have. And the advocating has a lot of that in it. I have to separate it here. I have to do this. It requires a shit ton of effort on my part, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, which is going to affect my spirituality, right? So why is Dion feeling a lot more joyful today? Because he decided that's not what he's doing anymore. Okay? There's not gonna be any more flipping tables. There's not gonna be any more confrontation. I've done what I can do. Right. And Dion deserves to move on to it. So see, I felt like I owed. I don't feel that way anymore. So I can either go and spend my time. Not that it wasn't important that I did that. A lot of people need to be educated. I'm sure it's not over with. But let's say I go somewhere and who I would consider abusers is there. I no longer care. Let them be there. Hey, hopefully they're helping someone. If so, great job. Good job. That's how I'm going to take it. Right? And what's that going to do? It's going to allow me to help more people. Okay? And that's the main reason why I was thinking about this last time. I'm like, Dion, think of the more people that you could help if you didn't use your energy kind of doing this. Not that the other part wasn't important, it was. Right? But now it's over, and that's okay. Right? So control kills joy. Management leaves no room for ease, and surrender creates that space. So when I surrender, it creates space for things like joy and happiness and contentment to come into my life. hmm But almost every alcoholic I meet feels they do not deserve joy. They have to be given permission. And it's okay to give people permission to heal. Absolutely, it is. I believe that. It's okay to give other people the permission to heal. All right. Joy showed up after I stopped gripping everything. It was when the joy happens when I understand that the world is perfect right now. Are there still some things going? Yeah. Every time I go out in that sunroom, I got 2 cats up there that I feel bad for. Now, they've got a great life, but it could be better. And it makes me feel guilty, so I do more. All right? It isn't that I don't feel guilty, I don't feel shame. It isn't that I don't point the finger. It's what I'm doing with all of that that really matters. What does it come down to? All right? So, in early sobriety, okay, what's going on? Well, relief more than joy. And what's the relief? You're not drinking today. But it's still jacking with your head. That 30 days, 1,000 nights, man. I I have respect for anybody that comes into this program and tries it. I really do. Or even just walk in the door the first time. Yeah. In middle sobriety, it's more about stability. Right? Because see, the joy doesn't, we are going to know a new freedom and a new peace. And that's the 9th step promises. Joy requires action because it is a dividend to something that you did. All right. Like maybe you helped somebody cross the street, you felt better. Maybe you chaired a meeting for the first time. Maybe you told your story. There's a lot of different things that can bring joy, but joy is usually the relief of the angst. You're not carrying it around anymore. I have found that joy comes from helping other people. That's where my true joy comes from. Going out of my way. I've been doing that a lot for my wife lately. If a little thing, she's like, I gotta get. I'm like, I'll go grab it for you. I got it for you. And it's stuff she can get herself. Okay, but I'm doing more of it so that she knows it's okay to be taken care of by somebody else. It's my turn to give back to her on that stuff. All right, it's where a lot of my focus has been lately. So, relief kept me alive, but joy taught me how to live. Yeah. I am very much enjoying my freedom today. And today I have a meeting at 3 o'clock with somebody I haven't spoken to in a few years. We kind of stopped talking because um well, she was doing some work with some other people that I won't work with them. And told her, if you're doing that, I won't follow you. I won't, well, remember this. But now I've worked through some of that other stuff, and I really do like this person. I do. Um, she's honest with me. Oh, Dan, I'm doing this. Why am I doing this? Because this is the only route I can go right now to help people, and it pays my bills. Can't argue with that. Okay. She's also broke. I hope she's not as broke as she used to be, though. I do. So, this will be an interesting talk. Yeah. And interesting in the fact that I think we're both going to learn a few things, right? And maybe she's got some ideas of some things that I can do. Maybe she knows of some stuff. Right? She's higher in the ranks of what I would say higher in the ranks of what I do. It just means it. She's a fantastic trainer, a great trainer. I mean, probably one of the best trainers I know. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So joy is not the same as escape. Nope, my problems are still there. But now they're not problems. Now they're opportunities to be a better person. That's the switch. All right. So escape numbs, but joy engages. So we are more engaging when we have joy. Joy doesn't disconnect us from reality. No. What it you know what's going to happen when you have joy in your life? It's the reason you have joy is because you are working with the truth, with the absolute truth. Hmm. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. If I'm present, it's probably joy. So why would we what would trigger it says here why joy triggers old alarms. Fear of relapse, fear of loss, fear of not deserving it, right? I kept waiting for joy to betray me, and then it never did because everything else betrayed me. But that wasn't the case. I did that. Most of the people that betrayed me left because I got rid of them because I was kind of because I was a jerk, man. I would drive people out. If we were getting too close, the only one that didn't buy it, I know the one person that didn't buy that and pretty much ignored me. Shannon, my wife. And she was one of the only people because the way I see it is if you can put up with all this, then you're worth me having you around. But I got to make sure that I'm reciprocating. All right. I'm a Virgo, man. I'm big on that. Right. My wife's done a lot for me. Do I owe her? Not according to her, which means that I can also provide unconditional love. It's not an owe. It's not that we owe each other. No, we don't keep track of stuff around here. Right? No. So, laughing without checking yourself, enjoying rest, feeling light without explanation, letting a good day just be a good day anymore. So I don't have to interrogate joy anymore. Okay. Now, when I'm angry, I ask myself why, right? And then I get down to cause and condition so I can change it. When it comes to joy, I'm not questioning it. Okay. Now, if you want to question it so you can get down to why you're feeling joyful so you can do it again, great. Then what are you doing? Then you're setting yourself up to succeed. And that's even better. See, that's better. All right. So we go from setting ourselves up to fail to setting ourselves up to succeed. Woo! Right? And we do it a lot. Right? So joy doesn't cancel out responsibility. I'm still responsible for what I do. Right? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna kind of wrap this up. Joy, what does it do? It does a lot of things in the rooms, right? Number one, it keeps newcomers coming back. It attracts people. It's our joy. It's our freedom. It's our happiness. They're like, I want that too. Okay. Joy shows how recovery works, and joy carries the message quietly. All right. I can tell you now, joy preaches so much better than my misery did. Right. So, yeah. So, a little reflection here. Where you used to shut down joy, where it surprises you now, where you're learning to let it stay. So, and we will close with this. I didn't need permission to feel joy. I needed recovery so that I stopped blocking it. Till I stopped blocking. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on